It's low-key lockdown, and today we're going to be talking about that UFC 308. Man, it is Max Holloway versus Illia Topuria. This is the most exciting matchup of the year, dog. Everybody, you could say just about everybody in your UFC community has been waiting on this. Like, come on now, we cannot pretend like this isn't the most exciting thing that has happened to us this year. We got Max Holloway, just came off of a knockout win over Justin Gaethje. We got Illia Topuria, who just came over a knockout over the greatest featherweight to have ever graced the sport, Volkanovski. And they are meeting in the center of the octagon to fight for the title. And when is UFC 308? I'm gonna say September. What the fuck is that? September? But anyways, man, fuck that. This is gonna be the greatest. Well, this is actually already like the best fight card that I've seen this year. I mean, this shit is ridiculous. They've got Illia Topuria versus Max Holloway. We got Hamza Chimaev versus fucking Robert Whittaker. Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. Dan Ige versus fucking Lerone Murphy. Shar Bullet versus Armen Petrosyan. We got Miktabek Orolbai versus Rebecki. We got Geoff Neal versus RDA. Kennedy versus Justin Tafa. We got, who else do we got on that card? I know that bitch is a banger though. I can't lie, that shit is a banger for sure. But anyways, man, we're gonna get straight into this breakdown. We're gonna be breaking down Max Holloway versus Illia Topuria. I'm gonna give you a very clean breakdown / analysis. So what I really believe is gonna start cooking once they start and they lock them motherfucking octagon doors, based off of performances in the past, based off of what we know about their styles as a whole, based off of style for style breakdown. We can't use MMA math. MMA math is bullshit because according to MMA math, you know, a lot of things just wouldn't be right. You know, for one, Brian Ortega gave Volkanovski a pretty hard fight. Max Holloway beat him up pretty significantly easy. You know, Yair, of course, he gave Max Holloway a run for his money. Volk trashed him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, dog, we're gonna get straight into this, man. Max Holloway, for one, man, he's a volume striker. Very, very good boxing. Very, very high, you know, high volume cardio. Fundamentally, he's pretty good. Not the best defense in the world. You know, he has some offensive jiu-jitsu. Sometimes you'll see him use it, but it's not really that prevalent in his game. And all in all, he's a striker, but a lot of people have this misconception that he's just a boxer, and he's just not, bro. He's a boxer. He has amazing boxing, but his kickboxing is really where he shines at now. He used to just be focused on boxing for a little period in his career where he was just like, you know, he's heavy on throwing his hands. But he has other weapons that he uses very often. He has kicks, he has teep kicks, he throws them jabs in there with the elbow. He throws a jab into an elbow. He throws head kicks, body kicks. He changes those levels of attack with, you know, just different limbs. He definitely exercises all of the limb usage that he can use, you know what I'm saying? Then we got a guy like Illia Topuria, who's just more boxing heavy and throws like one leg kick. He has no other moves in his arsenal that we've seen so far. Throws leg kicks and he throws punches. That's it. I've yet to see him do any of those. Anything else, I've yet to see him throw. But anyways, man, his boxing, Illia Topuria's, so fucking clean, dog. So fucking clean. He's so defensively tight, so defensively sound. He has a tight stance. He gets in there, walks you down. We all know what his game plan is. He's trying to walk you down and close you off and block you off against that octagon side, throw that overhand right, and knock you the fuck out once he's backed you up against the cage and put you right where he wants you. He can pin you down and crack that chin wide open, you know. But Max Holloway, he's very good at his footwork. His footwork is very, very good. Side to side, lateral, back and forth. All of it is very, very good. He has an amazing chin. It's withstood the test of time. But Illia Topuria just so happens to be two of Volk's biggest weaknesses. Guys with extreme punching power and short people. Volkanovski, short person, gave Max Holloway a fucking time. Frankie Edgar, short person, gave Max Holloway a run for his money. You know, Conor McGregor, hard power puncher, gave Max Holloway a hard time. Dustin Poirier, power puncher, gave Max Holloway a hard time. Justin Gaethje, not so much, but he's not both of those things. Illia Topuria is both of those things. And he has wrestling. Jesus. Very hard. But with that being said, Max Holloway, great takedown defense, excellent volume of punches, good defense, great chin. He hasn't been finished by those guys. I mean, So, you know, I don't know if he'll get knocked out or not, but it's very possible he can get knocked out, but I just don't want to say I see that. I don't think I see that. I see this fight going all 5 rounds. It's very hard for this fight to go all 5 rounds. I think the reason I would say that it's a more dangerous fight for Max is because he's fighting a power puncher in a 5-round fight. Giving a power puncher 25 minutes to knock you out, that's a long-ass time. It's a long-ass time to be in there with somebody who would shut your lights out. But each round, progressively, that power feeds, and feeds. So if Max Holloway can survive early on, from 1 to 3, maybe 4, I don't think Illia Topuria is knocking him out. His power is going to be significantly drained by then. If Max Holloway is on his normal Max Holloway antics, he done drained a lot of cardio out of him too. And we can see a very much more competitive fight from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds. The championship rounds can be way more competitive than what we believe. Illia Topuria, if believe it or not, he just now started knocking people out. He has 3 knockouts within the UFC, 5 altogether. Before that, he had 8 submissions. He's more of a submission artist, but in the UFC, he's only found 1 submission in the UFC so far. He couldn't submit Zalal, and his game plans are either I want to knock you out or I want to submit you. He usually isn't trying to do both, but he will mix in his wrestling if he's trying to knock you out. Sometimes, depending on who you are, depending on what he feels is necessary that time. He really is high and heavy on the idea of putting Max Holloway to sleep. I hope that he doesn't obsess himself with that, because that might be, a bit hard to chew on. It's going to be hard to chew on, bro. So, I wouldn't obsess with that if I was Illia Topuria. And that might be a downfall of him in this fight. Obsessing over the knockout, he might end up putting himself in, turmoil. Or he might end up gassing himself out, trying to throw big bombs and knock him out. But Illia Topuria is very, very technical. He's very sound on his feet. He doesn't overthrow anymore. Any more emphasis on anymore. Excellent body work. Small steps moving forward. Doesn't really take too many back steps. He's hard to back up, And once he takes that center, it's hard to get it back from him, because he's only taking 2 back steps and he's off at an angle and he's backing your face. Slide steps, very good. That Philly shell sort of backing up in defense. He does a lot of good movements in his defensive. His defense is really good. He is a boxing monster. Max Holloway is a striking monster. This will be a striking clinic if it goes all 5 rounds. But I gotta say, Illia Topuria's striking is very good. But Max Holloway's overall striking is better. It is. Can't lie. He's better at boxing, Illia is. Yes, Illia is better at boxing. I mean, he's not even that much better at boxing than him. I think they're better at different aspects of boxing. Max Holloway's combinations and his relentless pursuit of punching you, he's better at that. But Illia Topuria is better at, just the overall game of boxing. The small inadequacies that most people have, he doesn't have. He patient, takes his time, calculated, accurate, picks his shots, doesn't waste any movement, slides in and out of the void, great, everything, all of those things that you need to become a great boxer. He's very good at that. Max Holloway, volume, combinations, head movement sometimes, and his footwork is great. But yeah, man, very tricky scenario, Illia Topuria's biggest weakness is the long, tall strikers, which Max Holloway would be to him. Technically, he would be pretty long and tall for Illia Topuria. Illia Topuria is a staggering 5'7". They have the same reach, but Max Holloway is 5'11". He throws a lot of kicks. Kicking reach does matter. His game plans are pretty good, but oh god, shit. You also got to remember, Max Holloway isn't at 155 right now. He's cutting back down to 145, and he doesn't look that good when he cuts to 145. That's scary. I don't know, man. The weight cut might rape him this time, but the weight cut might kill him. I really hope that the weight cut isn't too fucked up for him. He's getting older. I think he's like 33. It's a hard cut to make, dog. It's a hard cut, especially coming from 55 with a knockout win over Justin Gaethje. He's recently found some new knockout power, or, well, at least some better strategies to use. He's coming off of fights with guys who can KO you. I mean, everybody thinks they're going to be the first person to KO Max Holloway, but if there is anybody that can do it, it would be Illia Topuria, man. He is the fucking most accurate puncher and most powerful puncher probably that he's faced up until this point. I would say, Can't lie. Cannot sit here and pretend like he's not. But what I'm gonna have to say is that I feel like if this fight goes to a decision, I think I got Max by split decision. But if it's a finish, I think Illia Topuria, and I think it might be knockout or TKO. A TKO or a knockout if it's by Illia. I mean, if it's by finish. I think Illia is too cocky to try to submit him because he said he's gonna knock him out already. So if the fight does get finished, it might be a knockout. Or shit, Max Holloway might knock him out on some shit. It's a knockout either way, but it's more likely a knockout on, you know, Illia Topuria's behalf. But Max Holloway can indeed knock out Illia Topuria. I don't know why. What's the misconception that Max Holloway couldn't knock people out before this? I mean, he has plenty of knockouts on his record. Haven't we seen him knock out people before? What the fuck are we talking about here? But anyways, though, I mean, yeah. I would heavily favor... Damn. I'm going to favor Illia Topuria for this fight, but Max Holloway does have a lot of the tools to get it done. Illia Topuria, the element of grappling does help him in this fight, you know, that ability to level change in mid-combination and just, you know, throw the whole fucking fight dynamic off. You know, just kind of confuse Max Holloway, you know, just keep changing levels, you know, just keep throwing shit out there, just steadily waning across the distance. Level changes, just throwing, level changing. And the next thing you know, you have your striker confused on what your next move is going to be, and that's when shit gets dangerous for them. Because they're feinting and reacting on shit that they think you're going to do. And that could be a problem. But anyways, dog, I believe that Max Holloway can win this fight by decision, but I believe that it is most likely that Illia Topuria win this fight. And he can win this fight in more ways than Max Holloway can. I believe that he's better on the ground. I believe that, you know, he might be better in the boxing department. We haven't seen their striking styles against each other, but I believe that Illia Topuria's striking might be a bit cleaner as far as like just defensively. So that's the only thing. Offensively, Max Holloway got it. Defensively, Illia Topuria. But if I had to favor one in that department, I would say just off of the performance that, damn, I would say that's pretty even. But anyways, man, I believe that Illia Topuria probably wins this fight. Probably, maybe a split decision. But I do favor Max Holloway in the decision department, but just off of what I see and know, I don't want to say that he KOs Max. I don't know if that necessarily happens. And it's kind of why I'm like sort of on edge about like what I'm see, the thing is, bro, you never know. You just never know. And I would say this is as 50-50 of a fight as we can get in the UFC. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you my favorite. I prefer for Max Holloway to win, and that's what I prefer. But what could happen is either or. And what's more likely to happen based off of MMA math is technically Illia beating him, and by knockout at that, but we don't know. But he can definitely knock out Max Holloway. I think it's likely that it could happen, but I don't predict it happening unless it's within the first 3 rounds. If it's not within the first 3 rounds, Max Holloway is not getting knocked out. But anyways, man, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next, man. We out, dog.